industry, but more importantly, we are celebrating women in business. OutFront is a curated experience for women when it comes to professional development. And my name is Eleshia, and I am the curator of this magnificent OutFront professional and personal development experience. I'm so excited because I have special guests that have joined me tonight to talk about collaboration in business. But not only that, our conversation tonight is we don't compete, we build. And in 2026, we are building something phenomenal. And I had to bring some experts to the table. DeShawn Bullard and Miss Kennedy, Stephanie Kennedy, they are entrepreneurs. Not only are they entrepreneurs, they are moguls. They are women who are experts in their areas, and they have a fantastic story that they're going to share with us tonight. But I want them to introduce themselves because they can tell you about their backgrounds better than I can. So welcome, DeShawn and Stephanie. Please introduce yourself.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is DeShawn Bullard. I am the founder, creator, and CEO of Well, good evening, everyone. Again, my name is DeShawn Bullard. I am the founder, creator, and CEO of Nouritress Hair Products. Nouritress Hair Products is a hair recovery and treatment product line designed to help women who may experience hair thinning, shedding, breakage, and hair loss. We also have a hair clinic where we not only sell the products, but we service the women with the pain. I've been in business for over 25 years, and I am so excited to be here.
Woohoo! Y'all welcome.
Absolutely amazing to be sitting here with you, Madam DeShawn.
Oh, yeah.
So, I am Stephanie Kennedy. I am the managing broker, owner of Weichert Realtors Prestige Partners. It is a full-service real estate brokerage located right here in Atlanta. I have been in business for over 35 years now. Very long time. I've always worked in corporate America. I've never worked in corporate America. I've always had my own business. And so entrepreneurship is, kind of the foundation line of my whole career as a professional, an adult professional. And in the real estate industry, we have real estate development, residential, commercial, and also hotels. And so excited to be here, experienced and on a lot of different levels. But DeShawn and I were partners in my former life when I was a hairstylist and a makeup artist. And so DeShawn and I were business partners way back when. And so we have an amazing story to tell. And it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us both, Eleshia. And I'm just so excited to be amongst you women on Women's Month because, we are amazing. Just looking at you guys. We are amazing. So, yes, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, both of you. Let's just jump right into it. You ready?
We ready.
We definitely ready. We ready.
Well, one of the things that I think that's most important to us as Black women is sharing stories. To share, because a lot of times we see the outcome, but we don't ever see where people started and how they built to that place. And when I look at the statistics of Black women-owned businesses, it says that 2.7 million businesses in the United States making Black women the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs over the past decade. So we started over the last 10 years really building and starting businesses. But despite that growth, the average annual revenue for Black women-owned businesses is under $40,000, compared significantly to higher averages for other groups of women-owned businesses. And so that is one of the things that grieved my heart because I felt like, we are very knowledgeable women. A good bit of the women who own businesses, I have to feel like they're educated by some stance to be able to do that kind of work. But still there's some gap in the income piece. And collectively, Black women own businesses that generate roughly about $98 billion in revenue, but many operate as solo or micro businesses without scalable infrastructure or partnerships.
It's true.
These stats help us understand the importance of looking at the collaboration lens. And so that's the reason why your story is so important. So would you please start and share how the two of you decided to go into business with one another?
Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I want you to start. You have a better memory than me.
Okay, so I'm a graduate from Tuskegee University. I have a degree in computer science. And while I was in college, I was the person that was in school servicing clients at my kitchen table. But it was not an industry that was favorable or looked at as a career that can make money. So fast forward, when I graduated, I moved to Atlanta because I got a job as a software designer. So I was a Black girl who code before it was popular to be a Black girl who code. But I worked in an organization that was predominantly male, white dominated. Some of you guys probably can, understand that with me. And I was miserable. No one thought that hairstyling was a career that was lucrative. So I decided to go back to school. Now, while I was in school where I lived at, Stephanie had a salon that I would gaze in the glass every day after school and just look like, ooh, the black and white floors, like this is where I want to work. And so me being from Chicago and the energetic person that I am, and I have some people in the room that can understand that, I stopped by one day and talked to her about renting a booth at her salon. And she said, she told me how much it cost. I told her that I worked full-time in corporate America and that I only wanted to do it part-time. And she was okay with that. She was like, fine, we could do it part-time. So after she invited me to come by a couple times and I experienced some of the girls in the salon, it was kind of like corporate by day, like, a little different by night. And so I didn't know how I would fit in the environment coming from corporate, and then she had a high clientele of celebrities. These girls in there, they were like all that. And I was like, I don't know if I'll really fit into that. And so I decided to open up a space behind my house to style hair instead of coming into a salon with her. But although I did that, we became good friends, and she was always courting me to decide to come to work for her. So she was courting me the whole time. Do you remember that part of it?
Oh my God, I do. That was such a long time ago. But let me tell you guys something. In the salon, so the name of my salon was Flawless Hair Designs. And it was one of the top hair salons in Metro Atlanta back in the 90s. I think I opened in 1992. I moved to Atlanta from Los Angeles. Hey, West Side. So moved to Atlanta, trying to find my way, and somehow or another, with no experience in hair, right? No experience in hair, had no clue, but opened up a hair salon with a business partner, which was my mom, and we opened up a hair salon. And so, we have this grand opening, we have this beautiful hair salon, and I must have been like maybe 23. I was probably 23 years old back then. And, you're hiring your staff and you have your stylists that are working. And then I started noticing like all these bad attitudes and all these things that I couldn't control because I was out of what I knew how to do. I did not know how to do hair. I just knew how to run a business, right? I had to go to cosmetology school and work in the salon and get my license. And so that was the beginning of my business entrepreneurship in like 1992 when I opened Flawless. And, fast forward, we're growing. The salon turns into this whole thing in Atlanta, and we have all these, because we were like right at Fayetteville and across from where Evander Holyfield used to live way back in the 90s. And they had all the basketball players and football players that wanted to live out in Fayette County. And so we had like this really big, we had just a big spread of people in the industry. And that's when back in the day, what was going on back there? Jack the Rapper, Freaknik. I mean, Atlanta was crazy back then. It was crazy back then. Like, and that was Atlanta, right? And so, anyway, so it was a lot of fun, and that's where I met DeShawn, and that's where our journey began.
Right. One thing I can say that I remember about Stephanie that really kind of drew me to the beauty industry, that was the first salon where I saw a salon owner. She had like a white Mercedes back then, and she would only wear like all white. And I was like, she has on all white, and she's in a white Mercedes, and I want to do this. And then she had this hair. That's when hair weave was just coming out. And so she would have this hair weave slinging, and she was like the epitome of what I saw as a business owner. Just the epitome of a business owner. But fast forward, I didn't work at her salon. Eventually, my driveway was packed with cars because I was really just that good. And I decided to open up.
She's still that good.
Yeah.
She's still my stylist. I had to come back home to mama because she does me right.
My 3 or 4 days a month that I work in the salon. But I went and I opened the salon to move the story on. I opened the salon in 1996, and I did it by myself. And I never really wanted to open a business by myself. I just couldn't find anyone that I thought that would match what I was doing, especially in the beauty industry, because having a college degree, and you don't really find that.
Let me tell you something. What she's trying to say is she is very organized, meticulous. She is by the books, like 100%. Like DeShawn plays no games in business. Me, I'm the fun girl, right? So I'm the one that's like, come on, Shani, let's go to the mall, right? She like, no, we have to stay at the salon. We have to clean it. It's on Monday. And I used to be looking at her like, boo, you're a party pooper.
But it's funny that she says that, because I'm not I've had partners who were more, organized than myself. I guess you'll hear the story, later on. But what happened was that I opened the salon. It was more challenging than I thought, because I was, just like Stephanie said, everybody that came to work for me thought like, this is not corporate America. And I would be like, well, I can have corporate America in my salon because I'm servicing corporate women. And so it just became a challenge. And again, Stephanie and I were friends. And one day, she and I was having a conversation, and I said, instead of us competing, because she had all these celebrities coming there, by this time we had a good number of clientele, but I always saw her, I don't know if she knows this, as my competition. And I was like, okay, so we're not going to compete. What I'm going to do is go to her and say, do you want to come together and open a salon? So my salon name was Another Look. She told you her salon name was
Flawless Hair Designs.
And after she said yes,
we created
Another Flawless Look. And that's exactly what it was. She brought her stylists down there, and they were Stephanie was always the fun boss. She likes to go out with her staff after work on the weekends. And I was like, I'm not hanging out with them, because they're not going to listen to what you say, do. And Stephanie was like, oh, you so uptight. And I was like, I'm not their friends. But long or short, her staff hated me.
They did. DeShawn was a party pooper. Like, I was fun. And she used to be all by the book. They're not folding their towels right, and they're leaving shampoo in the hair bowl. They need to wipe the bowls out. And I used to be like, oh God, DeShawn, stop. Let's go out tonight, go eat some Mexican food and drink some margaritas.
And I was like, I am not.
She's like, I'm not going.
That.
I'm not going to do that.
They won't hear me.
Right. I'm like, yes, they are, because if they don't, I'm going to put them out. Period. No games, okay?
So now we know how you all got it started. So before you officially partnered, what conversations did you have that most people skip?
I think the only conversation that we really had was about money, because we added on. We actually purchased another spot that was next to us.
Oh yeah, we did, and we opened up the wall
and we
built out another space. We did an expansion, yeah. And you know what, we really didn't. But you got to think about it. This was about 24 years ago, because I started. It was like
1998.
It was, yeah. So I mean, that was a long time ago. Like we weren't savvy like we are now. Like now we will eat you alive in a business deal. Yeah. Right? I'm talking, no joke. But we weren't that savvy. You know, we were just like young women trying to figure it out because we're like the exact same age. We have like kind of a lot of the same similarities, but then we're different in a lot of ways. But we're like yin and yang, like we offset one another. Like I loosen her up. Yes. And, you know, bring out her other side. And then for me, she gets me straight and gets me in line in areas where I'm very lazy. Yes. Right. And so the partnership is always good. Yeah.
But the only thing we talked about was money, though. And I remember being on her, like, well, we need the $10,000.
Oh, my God.
We need the $10,000.
Okay, let's talk about that. Because
we sure did, and I was like, okay.
Yes. So
let me see where I'm gonna get it from.
Exactly, and I was like,
together,
yeah.
Did you already have money in the bank? Like, what was your startup like? Did you go out and get a loan? Did you have some, you know, in the reserve? And you said, okay, I'm gonna bring.
Girl, we had cash, baby.
Yes, it
cash.
Was cash.
It was cash money. I mean, we work in a cash environment.
Yes.
I mean, as a hairstylist back then, I could make $1,000 a day, right? And, you know, it was like, you know, we have access to a lot of cash. Hairstylists, people really underestimate the hair care industry. So much money being made in that industry, right? And as professionals, when you're very professional in that industry, like you can become a millionaire.
Right, but you couldn't necessarily go to a landlord to get a space to say, you know, they didn't ask for your books or what?
No, not back then.
Not back then. They just said, do the application. You got the money. We got the money. Here, you got the space. Sign the lease, and let's go.
The credit, and you know, you did have credit. Yeah. And I had already had MySpace already when we came together.
Took the other one, but still back then it wasn't so hard. You know, as long as you had cash, it wasn't like a big deal. If you had some money, you can open a business. But fast forward, like if you think about it today, like we just kind of winged it, you know. In a lot of areas, we just winged it. We was just like, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah, and we didn't have a we were not a LLC. We were not a S corp. We were sole proprietor.
That's right.
It was a sole proprietor company where we actually used our own personal bank account, and we did like a DBA, like DeShawn, Bullard doing business as another flawless look.
Right.
And so I was going to ask you that because before I had a similar discussion with a coach, and she said that sometimes the reason why women don't necessarily collaborate, it was two reasons. One, because of trust, and two, it's like, okay, well, who's going to get the credit? There's not an I in collaboration. It's like, and so I love the fact that you all combined your names, because that was another problem too. Like, okay, do I have to lose my business name? Are we going to combine? So what does the merge kind of look like, you know? So that is fantastic. But
I just want to add on to that, like in business and collaboration, we get hung up on so many small things. It keeps us from going to the next level, right? So we're going to sit and we're going to nitpick about a name.
Yes.
Like, oh, I want my name first. That's not even something to even worry about. It's not a big deal. Yes. Like, we shouldn't spend time on things that are so minute and small. It's not going to help your business evolve. It's not going to make your name of your business great. Your business is not going to be great because of the name. Right? And so we have to, in business, whether it's with a woman or whatever, we have to understand that business is just a negotiation. It's not a fight. And just because we don't agree in business doesn't mean that we can't collaborate and we can't move on, because so often we can't get past the disagreement. But we're all people and everybody has their opinion. And so as business-minded people, and we're doing business, this isn't personal, because when you're in business, nobody wants to say it, but it's about the money. Yes. We're here to get to the money. Yes. Right? And so if the goal is to get to the money, then we leave all of that small petty stuff on the table and we conduct business from a business mindset. But you have to have a mindset shift to know that together as a team in collaboration that we can achieve more, and that's just what it means. And so these things are important parts, and it's just a mindset shift. We have to come together more so, because as Black women, we not real sisters. We don't unify enough, right? We don't unify enough. right? I don't do business with my sisters all the time. I might go over here and, you know, and spend some money and just step over you. But if we can't support each other in business and circulate our dollars within each other, how can we make it? Because nobody's choosing us. And all we have is each other.
But what I want to jump in with Stephanie with what she said. I think what's important was I was uptight, right? So I wasn't. Stephanie is has always been. It's about the money. I don't care what you call it, right? But not me. It was like I need another look up in there because another look is me. And so with her saying that, when we talk about collaboration, you do have to have that person. She was my balance. And I was her balance. Yeah. You can't have two people that's all about the money. That was our running joke all the time. You can't have two people all about the money because the money will be spent, right? You have to have somebody that's a little stringent, and you got to have somebody who's a little freer. Yeah. And so she was a little freer that allowed us to, because I think I named it Another Flawless Look, and she was like, okay.
Right.
You know,
I'm
she was like, as long as we're going to be making the money.
I'm into the money. We could have named it Timbuktu. I'd have been like, oh, yeah, girl. We going to have some trees coming out the door. Let's go. Hey, first client. Come on, Shani. Let's get this money.
Exactly.
The name doesn't matter. We have to get past those kind of issues because you can't move forward. You can't scale your business with that kind of mindset. You just stay so small when you're in business by yourself. You stay so small. Yeah. You stay so small.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. So tell me this, what almost didn't work and how did you navigate the tension?
Well, almost didn't work, but what didn't work?
What didn't work is the question. Oh God.
I'll let Stephanie tell you what didn't work because she has the answer to that.
So DeShawn has NourishRest Hair Products, which is literally, and she's being very modest for those of you who don't know her, it's a multi-million-dollar hair care brand, right? So DeShawn and I started NourishRest together. I named it, and we started with a hair vitamin, right? And so we were actually partners in NourishRest. But when I started selling real estate, I just got frustrated. I just walked away. I was like, I'm done. I was like, I don't want to do hair no more. I'm out, and I left. Just like that. Can't remember all the details, but that's the gist of it.
I remember the details. I remember all of the details.
Because that's the one right there. And I'm gonna let her tell it. However, what did happen is we did have some tension for some years because she was mad at me. She was very mad at me, and I regret. That's something that I regret so deeply. Is how I ended that, but I just didn't know. I didn't know what else to do. Like, because DeShawn is so stringent, I was like, I just gotta walk away because shit, she gonna give me a hard ass time. Woo, I don't want to go through that. So I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't handle it right. It was not good. And so anyway, we had some tension for a very long time, but I thank God that she's still my sister. Yeah. And we back. I love you, Shani. And so we're back together, and we have been for a long time, but we got some new stuff on the horizon, y'all. And it is gonna be
fire.
So yes, and so we are super excited about our newest collaboration. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. And so I'm gonna let DeShawn maybe talk about it a little bit, and then we take it from there. But yeah.
So that's what
God
didn't
is
work.
Awesome. God is awesome.
What just didn't work. She just walked away, and she walked away after knocking down walls, adding new salon equipment, staffing, her staff leaving, my staff, some of it stayed, and eventually I was like by myself. And that's why I was upset, because not only was I by myself, and not only did she walk away, when we did the lease, when she talked about so many things that we just didn't even consider because we were young, the lease was already in my name solely. So when she came in, I didn't even add her name to the lease. Right. We just added the additional space. Yeah. So when she walked away, although she did sow money into the new part that was built, but I was left with the additional rent for the additional space, the additional salon equipment that we purchased that we had leased. All of that was in my name. And that's why I was upset. But it was some very hard times, and I was very, very upset. I am a numbers person, and so I think that
Very
was
much so.
one of the biggest reasons why I was upset, because I'm a numbers person, and so everything had to be in a budget and a spreadsheet, and I felt that everything fell on me.
Wow, that is huge. That is huge because, again, we always see the outcome, right?
Yeah.
I've known DeShawn for a very long time, and this is the first time I never knew. I did not know that, and I'm so excited. And so when I heard about you, Stephanie, I was like, I cannot wait to meet her. But seeing that, I can see how you all balance one another, especially in business. And then, what else? It seems like any successful business always has some type of unique story. Mm-hmm. When you see brands, you never know like the behind the story about the outcome of that particular brand, and so that is just very amazing. So let me ask you this: how did collaboration impact your revenue, reach, or positioning compared to working alone? When you thought about it, because I know we kind of jumped to the collaboration of the story, but just if you compare the difference between the revenue part versus what you made solo versus what you made when you actually came together before the split.
I don't know. DeShawn would know because I don't do numbers. She handled all the money because I'm not. Back then, I was like, DeShawn, she, like you said, everything is on a spreadsheet.
Yes,
and a dollar, I would just be like, DeShawn, just you take the money, you deal with that. So DeShawn could tell you better than me.
So it was good, definitely compared to when I was by myself. And I think Stephanie can attest to that. It was.
We were making money.
Yeah, we were making money.
It
felt good to have those late nights to balance, because remember, I think I may have had a staff of I think my salon sat 8 people, and Stephanie had this big salon, so she may have bought, which is the reason why we opened up the other side, she may have brought maybe about another 8 people with her.
Yes.
And so that was a big revenue change for us. And at the time, we were doing what we call booth rent.
Yes, I remember booth. Y'all remember booth rent, right? Yes.
We were doing booth rent, and so when you talk about booth rent from, I guess maybe my salon sat 8, but I think we had 6, and then Stephanie bought like another 6 to 8 people. So we're talking about booth rent from all of them.
Yes.
It was good.
Yeah, and then we had vitamins in the vitamin store. They were going good.
Yeah.
So we were making some little money with the vitamins. And so, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It wasn't a bad business decision at all.
Yeah.
It was a good decision. It had a lot of potential, but, such is life. And we're both still here today.
Yeah. I think understanding, I think one thing to understand as we talk about collaboration, and I'm sure you're probably going to get to a question about it. I don't know. I'm looking over there, but but when
She
we
can't see.
No, but when we think, I can't. But what I think about is that when you are selecting a partner, again, we were both so young and we were so excited. The only thing we really focused on was the money, right? Mm-hmm. Her having her part, me having my part. Right. All the other things like capacity about what maybe was going on with her personally, what was going on with me personally. Why was I so driven, right? Because I was feeling a void during that time,
Yes.
Right.
So that was my focus.
Right.
I wanted to have a baby back then and was having problems conceiving. So the salon was like my baby.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so this was my baby. So everything about my baby had to be, the way it is when you actually have a baby, right?
Yes.
Stephanie had already had her baby. Her baby's here with her today. And so she was just a little friend, like, hey, like that. So I think not really understanding capacity, which is, when she walked away, because any business is hard. So I think when you look at the numbers that you gave, many people are entrepreneurs when you think about the definition of an entrepreneur, but very few actually run a business.
That's good.
So we have a lot of entrepreneurs.
It's very true.
Yes.
but we have very few that have a business like you should see. She's talking about me. You're talking about this mogul with her owning her own brokerage and then buying into a franchise. Having with agents and her own business and things like that, with a building and employees and franchise fees and
Yes.
that's running a business.
Yes.
An entrepreneur, you can do it singly, right? And you could just do it singly, but we never get to that point where we actually run a business because we do have to step out. We do have to be able to, kind of make some adjustments with our energies, right?
Yes.
And be accepting
Definitely.
of another person.
Yes.
and be able to understand what's my strength and what's my weakness and what's her strength and what's her weakness, right? And each
Yes.
one of us does have a strength and each one of us does have a weakness, but we never ever talk about the weaknesses with each other. In a partnership, we only talk about the strengths.
That's true.
No one ever said, well, I'm an erector, so I'm gonna build it up. Now I may print the labels, and I'll print 10,000 of them, and they're probably gonna be a couple misspelled words on the back. So I need someone who is very anal, who can really look at it,
Right.
And Stephanie may say, hey, like I'm not the money person, so I need you to do this while I build relationships with the staff so they won't leave because they don't want to talk to you.
Right. They don't want to talk to her at all.
So, but that was her strength, the relationship building of the staff, so that everybody wouldn't leave.
Yes.
So we never ever talk about those type of things. So that's why we have those numbers like they are. It's easier to start something, to go get your LLC, get your bank account, but baby, from day one, it's hard to build and grow.
Yes.
Because there are requirements to get bank loans.
Yes.
There are requirements to get all these things. Even now with leasing, there are requirements to even understanding what part of the lease are you responsible for.
Yes.
We don't even have that. I remember when we first had the salon, I don't know if Stephanie knows it, but because I handled that part of it, after she left, one of the things I was angry about is that when the air conditioner system went out on the building and we had 2 spaces, it was in our lease that I was responsible for fixing or buying a whole new one on a building that wasn't even mine. And I was like, duh.
Like, ouchie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But guess what?
again.
I tell everyone who is in business or any entrepreneur that as we grow, it's tuition for learning, right?
It
so
is.
I paid the money. I was upset, but I went to class for entrepreneurship. I went to class for business ownership, not in someone's classroom, but in life. And so by the time
That's
I moved to
right.
my next building, right, and then the next one after that, I knew exactly what to look for because I had paid the tuition.
You had paid
the hot
it.
water heater had already caught on fire. I didn't know anything about a commercial
Everything.
hot water heater versus a
Residential.
or commercial flooring versus residential flooring. All of those things I learned through hard knocks.
Yep.
And I paid tuition for learning the outcome of that type of running that type of business.
And that's entrepreneurship.
And that's entrepreneurship.
So we're going to have a conversation with the people that are here in the room today. But for those of those that are watching by way of virtual, would you share with them just maybe one thing that they should look for when they are looking for a partner to collaborate with?
Go.
You go. I've been talking.
Oh, okay. So ask the question again, please.
Okay, if you had to give the audience that is watching one major thing that they should look for when they want to collaborate with another woman in business, what should it be? What is the number one priority? Because at first I think you all came together, you said because of the money, right?
Well, because we
No, it
we
wasn't.
were friends. Like we
Y'all just
liked
wanted
each
to-
other.
Y'all liked each other.
So that is something you got to like each other. You got to know each other, right? To a certain extent. Not that you're hanging out at each other's houses, because we didn't do that.
Not
really.
really.
I only knew her from the business and things like that. But you have to know each other because I had another partner, because I never wanted to go into business myself. I guess I thought I knew her, but it was the work. I would have drugged Stephanie back in. So when she says that she thought I was anal, how the universe lines up, I met somebody who was way more anal than me. And I became Stephanie. And she became me.
Oh, wow.
To show me who I was. And I was like, oh, wow, well, this is kind of really bad right here. Because if we doing this, and so that's when I leaned into my weakness. But, so did you say, were you still going to answer?
Yeah, I think you already answered yours. You got yours out. So you was like that. I would say mindset. I would say that the other person is, if you're going into business with someone, you need to be very concerned about their mindset, because words are powerful and they bring back vibrations. And what you speak out of your mouth, you have the opportunity to build or destroy. And I would never want to go into business with someone who had a negative, mindset, because it would destroy everything. I'm very upbeat, I'm very gregarious, and I speak words of life, of inspiration, of toleration, of peace, of love, and all of these things. And if someone couldn't line up with that, we gonna have a problem in life, in business, because we not two people. It's like we fighting. It's like yin and yang, you know. It's like we're fighting all the time. And so I can't. You have to have that in the very beginning, before you can do anything else, is be concerned about someone's mindset.
So DeShawn said that she attempted another collaboration outside of your all's collaboration that did not work. Were there opportunities that you tried to collaborate with someone else as well and it wasn't successful?
Let's see. No, I don't think so. Did I ever have a business partner after DeShawn? Never.
Wow.
Never.
All right.
But Stephanie said I answered the question, but I didn't, because what I wanted to say.
But you know what I did? I do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I do. I'm sorry. I do have a collaboration. I'm in a collaboration right now. I have 5 business partners. I'm sorry, I forgot. So, wow.
Business partners.
Wow.
Okay.
This is in another industry, but I currently have 5 business partners that is very intense. I have a hotel in Ghana.
Yes.
And so I have 5 partners that are my business partners. They're all men, though.
Okay.
This is the hardest thing I've ever done, is alpha male men. I'm probably the only woman in the world who can deal with them. But I've been in some business deals with them before. Like, my teeth are sharp. I bite like a pit bull. That bite is tight. Okay? But so I have them. Come on in. Come on, Latika. Anyway, I have these business partners, and it's a good collaboration, and even though it's with men, but it's very hard.
Yes.
It's very, very hard to be in business with men. With men that are affluent, that are very, like, they're alpha males, so they're like these strong men, right? And like women, like they're like women are like damsels in distress kind of men. Like, they want you to be like a damsel in distress, and so I have to be very strong to deal with these guys. But it's going well. It's just hard, but it's amazing. And so we're doing some good things in Ghana with the hotel industry. I have a trip coming up too, guys, for Juneteenth weekend. I am hosting a trip to Ghana. And so if you guys are interested, I'll give you the information and let you know. It may be something that you guys would want to do. It's going to be an amazing adventure.
But first of all, I don't want to act like having a hotel in Ghana is not a big
That
deal.
part. That part.
Let me just pause right there.
Yes, that part.
That part right there. So hats off to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so
Ghana, like,
much.
that's just regular, you know? Congratulations on that collaboration.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. So DeShawn, finish now.
So what I was going to say was that when you asked about that one thing, they have to be someone who is honest that you can trust.
Yes.
So if you can't trust them, you can't even move forward to the next step.
That's true.
At all, zero. So, like Stephanie said, you have to have the same mindset. But if you have the same mindset with someone and then they're not trustworthy,
nope,
then that's a whole nother ball game.
But do you think amongst black women, especially black women in business, is the trust factor something that is keeping us from moving forward? Because this number is huge as far as starting these businesses and still underperforming at bringing home $40,000 in revenue. So, you know, there's a trust must definitely have to be at the baseline of being able to be in a better position to bring in some, you know, money. Because for me, I don't need to take credit as long as I go to the bank. I think I'm a little bit over there, a little Stephanie inside of me. You know, as long as I can take cash to the bank, then we're good, you know. But I do feel like there's some trust barriers, you know, because I too, DeShawn, share your sentiment in wanting, you know, not necessarily wanting to go into business by myself. Even though my husband and I, we partner in a couple of different businesses, but specifically, you know, some women spaces. But I find that a lot of women, you know, have this trust piece up. And so I just challenge us in that area to be able to, you know, have great relationships and partnerships and collaboration efforts like DeShawn and Stephanie. And so we're ready to go to our phase 2. Thank you so much for those of you that are joining with us by way of virtual. That concludes, you know, our segment on we came to collaborate and build today. We're not here to compete, but we're here to build.